All right guys, today we're installing the HKS Hypermax. This is one of the most popular systems for the A90 Supra. So Caleb's gonna do the install, but this is actually a very particular install. We're actually doing this for HKS. They'll actually be coming up to check out the car in the next couple days, and they'll probably see them at Supers in Vegas. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But we actually have a full conformity check sheet from HKS, and the reason for this is because it's for the manual transmission. So we've already measured everything on the car. So when we're doing this, we're leaving the HKS Hypermax at the factory setting. So the setting is actually where they actually put the collar on the sleeve itself, and we're gonna redo all the measurements from before and after. So we'll report into you here. They want us to do it in millimeters, but we're obviously measuring in inches, and then they want us to confirm all these actually things, if there's any extra noises and things like that. And then we have to report this back to HKS USA, and then they're gonna obviously report that back to HKS Japan, put that on their checklist that their kit does 1000% confirmed fit the manual transmission Supra. We're actually super excited to get this on our car. I think I mentioned in one of the other videos, when we actually drive the car, when we're actually shifting gears, it just dips really hard in the back and then kind of dips heavy in the front. So I'm super excited about that. So this is where HKS actually suggested we measure from. Some people will measure to the actual jack point, but we're measuring right in here. We'll have all the specs, we'll put them up on the screen, the befores in all four corners, and then we'll do the afters in all four corners once it's lowered. So we have filled the car up so it's completely full of fuel. We are going to be putting these back on until we put our TEs on later, so that nothing actually changes. So we want to see this actual measurement and how much different it is, and if it's leveled out perfectly like they suggest, and how they have their coilover set up. So guys, quick mid check-in. We just finished the front suspension, actually mostly Caleb. I was actually filming another video talking about hub spacers and hub rings. So you guys can watch that video whenever that one comes out. Fun fact is actually this has glue inside it. These are actually important. They're just a damper to quiet any noises the spring's gonna encounter if it ever touches the other spring. So this one will actually go right here. This one will go right towards the bottom, but they actually do have like an actual glue on the inside. So cool fun fact. So as you guys watched, we pulled this apart. This is a sleeve style coilover, if you guys didn't know. So this actually retains all the factory dampening set up from Toyota BMW. And it's really simple. The BMWs have been using the Haas kit for quite some time on other applications. Obviously when the Supra came out, this was available, and HKS went to market with this, and this is one of the most popular spring kits available. And it's still a spring kit, even though it's height adjustable, hence Haas. So the cool thing about this is you actually don't need to adjust this. Every one we've done, since the day one, we put it in, lowered the car, I'm like, looks good. It was actually low enough and not too high and not too low. They actually set these perfectly. So that's why it's a #1 recommended. It actually rides really good, and you can go lower if you need to, just to get rid of that last little micro wheel gap if you have it and your friends are picking on you. So I highly recommend this kit. So let's get back to the rear, and then we'll get this thing on the ground and kind of check those measurements again. All right guys, so to get this apart, it's a lot easier than the front. The back should take a lot less time. You do need an E12, so it's an E-Torx. To remove this up top here, you do need to, I believe, cut the bump stop is something they require to do. And then you actually just, once you do that, and then you pull out one of the bolts down in here, you actually can lower this not the subframe, but this lower control arm here, and the spring will pull right out. And then you're just gonna put the HKS Haas kit back in. You're not gonna adjust it like I mentioned earlier, and then you're gonna put this back in, and the back is done. It's super easy. All right guys, so this is the aftermath of us installing the HKS Haas kit. So you have your rear springs here with the perches, you have some cut bump stops, you got the actual front perch where the spring actually sets, these guys. So here's our A90 Supra, it's lowered now. On the HKS kit, and we never adjusted the bump stops, okay? It got about 40 miles on this, no noises, no creaks, no air codes, no nothing. So what we did, this is that sheet for HKS, it's a conformity check sheet, and we have to go through, these are all check marks, they're all good. We have to put in the measurements here, so this is in millimeters, but to translate that in English, this car got lowered in the front 1.375 and 1.125 in the rear. So what's that translates to? It's a nice look. It definitely needs our wheels and or some spacers, depending what you want. But again, I think this is one of the best kits out on the market for the A90 Supra. It rides really good. It rides almost like stock, just a little bit more firmness. You still retain the factory dampers. So tell us what you guys think, and we'll see you guys on the next video when we install some wheels and tires and some more carbon bits as we get ready for the Supras in Vegas event.